Isiuwa, and if you're new here, what's up, what's poppin', and if you're returning, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I'm back, you guys. I'm back on YouTube. I want to stay consistent. I want you guys to hold me accountable, and I just want to be transparent with you guys, and I just want to show you my real self. Like, I want us to go through this journey together. Like, I love YouTube because I love to talk. Like, I like talking, and I feel like YouTube is the perfect way because I could just grab my camera and talk to you, and we could just be best friends. So that's just how it's going to be from now on. I know I always say I'm going to be consistent, but this time I'm forcing myself to be consistent because I have officially stopped using Instagram. So I got rid of my Instagram the beginning of August, I think like August 1st or 2nd, and I bought a new book called Think Like a Monk, Train Your Mind for Peace and Purpose Every Day, Jay Shetty. And I feel like this book was the perfect start to my whole clean slate journey. So right now in the book, there's a quote that says that I really do want to share really quick. It says, removing distractions that prevent us from focusing on what matters most. And that is the theme of my semester right now. The theme of my journey right now is that I'm removing distractions to focus on what matters most. I feel like with Instagram, I was constantly scrolling. I was on it for hours, and my aesthetic was changing. Like, I would see other people's stuff and I would be like, oh, okay, that's my aesthetic now. And I think I kind of forgot who I was. Like, I forgot the core, the values that I am and who I am. Like, it was just, I was losing myself on being on social media constantly, that I was forgetting to do things that made me happy. I was forgetting to focus on my goals, and one of them was to be on YouTube, to be consistent on YouTube. The other one was to, build my business, my Baby Sorella brand, wearing rings. The other one was to build my business, and I felt I was scrolling more than I was posting on my business page, and I feel like Instagram takes a lot from what people want to do. So I have pushed myself to use this time to see if I can make meaningful connections, if I could keep my friendships without social media, if I could connect with my friends, if I could still be present when I go out, if I can communicate properly, if I could get back to doing what I love, if I could use I want to use my time purposely. Yeah, I want to be purposefully with what I do. I don't know if I'm using the right term, but I just want to be of purpose. Like, I want to be fulfilled. I want my inner mind, body, soul, and spirit to be so full and with light. Like, just, I want to glow on the inside naturally and seamlessly. And I hope I could get to a point where I could use Instagram, because that's kind of my business, that's my content. So I hope I can get to a point where I could use Instagram and still use these other platforms without getting distracted. But I just feel like a lot of people get lost with social media, and I feel like I would get so lost in it that I wasn't focusing and I wasn't being present. I am in a new stage in my life, and I kind of found myself complaining about the things I prayed for, which made no freaking sense. I once prayed to be in this moment, and I wasn't sitting here embarking and loving on this exact moment. So I had to kind of slap myself in the head and say, like, what are you doing, girl? What you doing, girl? And I just had to just be present and live. And it's so funny, my friend called me a few hours ago and said that, one of our friends is just sad, and we have prayed for certain moments that we are in, and why is it that we constantly aren't living in the moment and we're thinking about what's next? I want to stop thinking about what's next, and I want to be in this moment today, right now, and be grateful for what God has put in my lap, because I once prayed to be here. So that's just where I am. And honestly, I don't know how long I'm gonna be off Instagram, but I know that I don't want to get back on until I have fulfilled my goals. I don't want to say fulfilled my destiny, but I have tackled my goals, and like, I want to have a meaningful life. And Jay Shetty said in his book, the only way to build a meaningful life is to filter out the noise and the distractions. And Instagram was my noise. Instagram was my distraction. And I don't know when I'm going to get back on, but until I have figured out some things in my life, until I have set myself on the right path, until I remember my core values, and I want to, even my people that are around me, like, what do they bring into my life? Like, what is the value of this friendship that I have? What is the value of our conversations? Like, I want everything right now to have meaning, and I want it to have value. And my friend, he told me, he said, you need to go back to what you loved before social media, what you loved when you were a child, because everything roots from that. And I just remember, I just loved creating. If it was writing, if it was storytelling, I love storytelling. So I want to get back to that. So I'm here to be transparent. I want you guys to come on the journey with me. And now I'm doing things for myself. Like, I don't care if one person or two people watch this video. I am doing this because this is what makes me happy. And I want to start doing things because it's part of me, instead of doing it to monetize or doing it for a different reason. I feel like when people do things to monetize, nothing goes well, or like their growth becomes slower. And I feel like my time on YouTube before was, I was doing things to monetize. I was doing things to monetize, and it's like, honey, and I was growing so slow, and then I would get so upset and so mad if things weren't going my way, or if things weren't flourishing. I've been on YouTube for a while, and I've seen a lot of people blow up before me, but I wasn't consistent, so that's my fault and my bad. So I'm gonna be consistent this time. How do I balance my full-time job and still doing what I love? Because I'm not at the place yet where I wanna get rid of my full-time job. At some point, that's my goal. I want to be able to sustain myself, and like, the end goal is to travel the world storytelling. So if I could do that, like, I want to get to that point, but I feel like as of right now, I am not there yet. So I cannot quit my full-time job, even though I would love to do that. Like, it would be amazing if money was just flowing. So, you know, I watch YouTube constantly, and I hear people saying like, oh yeah, they've left their job and this is where they're at now. And I think for me, I'm not there. So my struggle is, how do I balance it all? And I'm going to be showing that. I'm going to be showing you guys me working, me creating content, me trying to get my life together, all while still remembering what I'm passionate about. Because I used to say this, but I don't say this anymore, but I used to say they pay us to forget our dreams. And now I've turned the narrative. They don't pay us to forget our dreams. I have turned it into, they pay us to be able to fund our dreams so we could leave that corporation. So I'm looking at it from a different light. I don't know, I'm just in a different, my energy is different. I'm in a different space. So I've changed that narrative so I could look at it a different way, and to know that this is not my permanent situation. This is just temporary, and this will get me to where I want to be. I need to follow these steps. So come with me on the journey. We're going to be talking about budgeting. We're going to be vlogging. We're going to be lifestyling. We're going to do a home tour. We're going to do everything because I miss you guys so much. I miss you guys so much. I hope you guys miss me too.